Hi, Norman Chad with Week 5 NFL Picks. This week's picks sponsored by O'Kell's Fireplace. Custom-made fireplaces and equipment. Friendly people, friendly fireplaces. Please go to O'Kell's. We are 12-8 this season against the spread. Last week we were 2-3. If we go 5-0 this week, remember the name is Norman Chad. If I happen to go 0-5, I am Vegas Dave. Let's start with the Steelers, 7-point favorites at home against the Eagles. The Eagles are 1-2-1, good for first place in the NFC East. The teams in the NFC East are combined 3-12-1. So being the best team in the NFC East is like being the finest naval officer in all of Switzerland. The NFC East is roadkill. The NFC East is Spam on day-old toast. The NFC East is the last lobster in the tank because nobody wants to touch it because of a skin rash. The Eagles somehow beat the 49ers last week, but the 49ers were more like the 29ers because nearly half their team was injured. This game is in Pittsburgh, which is fortunate because, to paraphrase W.C. Fields, I once spent a year in Philadelphia one weekend. We like the Steelers in this one, -7. Our next game, the Bengals, big underdogs at the Ravens. Last week, I took the Ravens as a 13-point favorite. I cannot take the Ravens as a 13-point favorite a second consecutive week. That's just too many points to give too quickly, too often. It would curdle my blood to take a 2-touchdown favorite again with the same team. It would irritate my IBS. It would upset my stomach more than any Adam Sandler gambling movie. Now, the Ravens and Lamar Jackson are really, really good. But I'm going to close my eyes and dream of breezy, romantic Cincinnati afternoons. Yes, the Bengals actually tied the Eagles last month. Tying the Eagles is like kissing your sister-in-law's frog. But I believe in Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon. This week, I take the Bengals as a 13-point underdog. We move on to the Raiders, also a big underdog at the Chiefs. You know, frankly, the Chiefs and the Ravens are the two best teams in the AFC. Can you make a living betting against them every week? No. But I'm not trying to make a living. I'm just looking for $20 to get a burger, fries, and Coke from Five Guys. Thank goodness the peanuts are free there. The Chiefs are a threat, of course, to go 16-0, but once in a while they look really bored out there on the field, reminiscent of my second wife on our honeymoon night. I'm not a big fan of this Raiders team, but I'll gladly take the 13 points. I'm going to close my eyes again and just hope that when I open them up, I'm not staring at a divorce lawyer. Let's go with the Raiders as a big underdog against Kansas City. The Cowboys favorite at home against the Giants. This is an NFC East game, which means two things. One of these teams has to win. Two, this game will not be televised into any home suffering severe emotional distress. Okay, let's go back to that first thing just for a moment. Maybe neither one of these teams will win. Maybe this game will end up in a tie. You know, I believe it's possible that every NFC East team will end up in a tie game this season. The Eagles have already done it. See, the NFC teams are so bad, even when they play well enough to win, they will end up tying the game. Okay, let's get serious for a moment. The Cowboys are much better than the Giants. However, the Giants always play the Cowboys pretty tough. But I'm figuring the Cowboys will finally figure out a way to put 11 defensive players on the field. They've only been using 9 or 10. And in doing that, maybe they can stop the other team finally from scoring 35 points in the first 3 quarters. I'm going to take the Cowboys here as a 9.5-point favorite. And finally, we have our calendar pick of the week. Calendar picks of the week, 62% since 2010. The Texans favored at home against, the Jaguars. The Texans finally fired Bill O'Brien. I'm not even sure they hired a replacement. I mean, they figure they couldn't do any worse if the Progressive insurance lady was coaching the team. Although, frankly, I really think that she would get on most of the players' nerves sooner than later. The Jaguars now, they're only 1-3. But if they were in the NFC East, they might be the best team in that division. And frankly, the Jaguars are a respectable 1-3. They are a 1-3 team that you wouldn't mind bringing home to meet your mother. However, this isn't the week to bring the Jaguars home to meet your mother in Houston. Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt are just going to run wild because they're so happy and gleeful that Bill O'Brien is gone. I'm going to take the Texans as a 6-point favorite. How do I do it every week? My friends, I'm Norman Chad. I'm a left-handed genius. See you again with the picks next week.